Welcome. I want to start with a provocation. We tend to view our education system as a carefully designed machine, perfected over centuries to produce intelligence. But what if I told you that mainstream education is actually an historical accident? For hundreds of years, we've built curriculum based on a fatal lie, the idea that learning is the passive absorption of facts. We treat the mind like a bucket to be filled, but neuroscience tells us something very different. Your brain is not a storage device, it's a prediction machine. It is designed to navigate the world through a continuous loop of prediction and correction. And by ignoring this biological reality, we have created a system that systematically thwarts the biological nature of intelligence. We punish the errors that the brain actually needs to learn, and we prioritize the throughput of the institution over the development of the human being. To give you an analogy, imagine trying to design a high-performance glove without ever having seen a human hand. You don't know how many fingers it has, how the knuckles bend, or how the thumb opposes. That's precisely what we've done with education. Ask yourself these two questions. First, in all the years of schooling, did an educator ever explain the operation of your neocortex, your hippocampus, or how your cortical columns actually store reference frames? And second, have you ever experienced a program explicitly designed to develop that cognitive architecture? Likely, the answer is no. We've been teaching content without understanding the hardware that processes it. We are designing gloves that don't fit the hand. The consequence of this mismatch is not just poor grades, it's the existential anxiety. When we focus on passive data retention rather than active model building, we are left with brittle knowledge. It works on a test, but it collapses the moment you face the chaos of the real world. This creates what we call the anxious individual, adventurer type 1. As the poet Matthew Arnold described, these individuals find themselves wandering between two worlds, one dead, the other powerless to be born. We are stuck between a past we cannot change and a future we cannot predict, paralyzed because our education gave us maps for a world that no longer exists, rather than the navigational tools to chart our own course. So, how do we fix this? The answer is not more knowledge. We don't need more facts. We have the internet for that. We need a new kind of cognitive architecture. We need a single, learnable skill that acts as the foundation for all true agency. We need the ability to pause. Now, when I say pause, I don't mean simply stopping or hesitating. I'm talking about a rigorous cognitive protocol, a deliberate mechanism to interrupt the automatic processing of your brain. This is the only way to move from being a passive victim of your programming to an active architect of your life. Rollo May famously said that human freedom involves our capacity to pause between stimulus and response, and in that pause, to choose one response towards which we throw our weight. In the unprimed mind, there is no gap. Stimulus leads instantly to reaction. You feel fear, you hide. You feel anger, you lash out. You are a biological robot. But when you cultivate the pause, you pry open that gap. You open a space where you can step in and negotiate with your own instincts. This is where self-negotiated action begins. This space is the only place where true freedom exists. What do we do inside that pause? Well, we can perform the great rebalancing. This is based on the concept of subject-object rebalancing. In our normal state, we are subject to our fears, our assumptions, our biases. They have us. We look through them like contact lens, so we can't even see them. The pause allows us to take those glasses off and look at them. We move our fears from subject, i.e. what has us, to object, what we have. When your anxiety is subject, it controls you. When your anxiety is object, it's just a piece of data you can evaluate. The shift from being controlled by your psychology to managing it is the core work of adult development. This brings us to our definition of primed adventuring, which we define as the deliberate development of cognitive architecture required to support the pursuit of evolving opportunities for satisfaction. Notice two things here. First, we are building cognitive architecture, dynamic mental models, not just stored facts. Second, the goal is satisfaction. We aren't trying to pass a test or get a promotion. We are trying to align our inner convictions with our outer reality. We are trying to transform the accident of chance into the necessity of our destiny. To do this, we have to flip the educational model upside down. In traditional learning, the teacher leads. The curriculum is static and it's focused on general needs, what we assume everyone needs to know. In primed adventuring, the learner leads. The curriculum is community-based and we focus on your immediate needs. The community becomes the teacher because the community provides the friction. It provides the prediction errors your brain needs to rewire itself. We don't learn adventuring in a classroom. We learn it by engaging in value creation loops in the real world. In this new model, being educated isn't a degree to hang on your wall. It is a fleeting state you have to earn every single day. John Ruskin argued that to be educated means you can answer 3 questions at any given moment. Question 1, where are you? i.e., can you read your environment accurately? Where are you going? i.e., are you following your true calling? And question 3, what will you do? Do you have the agency to take the next step? If you cannot answer these 3 questions right now, then momentarily you are uneducated, regardless of how many degrees and PhDs you may have. The primed adventurer constantly recalibrates this compass. This framework is built on 3 distinct pillars of awareness. First, the psychological. The discovery of your why, your calling, the irrational factor that destines you to emancipate yourself from everyone else. Second, the ecological, the adjusting of your inner world to your outer world. This is evolution. Third, the philosophical, the relating of subject to object. This is the rebalancing act we just discussed. When you integrate these 3, you don't just get smarter, you get wiser. You develop phronesis, or practical wisdom. You might be asking, is this for me? We have identified 7 types of adventurers who need priming, including the anxious individual who's paralyzed by fear, the side shifter navigating a career change, the wannabe entrepreneur who lacks the rules of the game, and the global explorer, the side hustler, and those who want to make a difference. They all look different on the surface, but they share one common challenge: the struggle to remain sufficiently educated in an ever-changing world. They all need to close the gap between their inner capacity and their outer world's demands. Now, I want to leave you with this Japanese proverb. Vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Many of us are stuck in the daydream, trapped in the unlived life of what we could be. Or we are trapped in the nightmare, busy, frantic action, but with no direction. Primed adventuring is the bridge. It is the path to a life of conscious, fulfilling action. It starts with a pause, it grows through rebalancing, and it is realized when you step out into the community and turn your chance encounters into your personal necessity.